Hello! Today we are addressing the question of how do you play the violin in tune? Or how do you play it at all? With regards to finger placement and bow hold, I will leave those questions to be answered by others, such as Violin Class USA. Thank you, Julia Bushkova, for making those videos. I will post a link to that channel in the description. But here I'm addressing, so how do you play in tune? Because that I think I can help with. I made an app, an Android app here, that will show you a note. And actually, the way it works is, and you can use this either with an iRig, as I'm doing here. You can see that I have the violin plugged in to this cable plugged into the violin, the pickup, and then into the iRig, and it goes. And the reason it still picks up some noises is because the violin resonates. And I can talk into the violin, so yeah, that's kind of how that works. You can do this with the cable, or you don't have to do it with the iRig. You can just do, if you find a quiet room to play the violin in, then you can just not have anything plugged in. It will use the phone's microphone to pick up what you're playing. Okay, so in this case we have, suppose we have this song, "Oh Come Little Children," from the Suzuki violin book. Okay, and I mean, most of you know about the Suzuki violin book, but I can post a link to that as well. Okay, so first of all, what do we see? The key signature is 3 sharps. So in the app, you need to just keep clicking just near this, you see these triangles? Just keep clicking near one of these until you see 3 sharps, and that's A major. And if you need a minor, you click near the center, it changes it to minor. So what is next? Next you figure out what note you're supposed to be playing. Now Suzuki gives us the finger numbers here, so 0 means open string, 2 means the middle finger. Okay, so which open string is it? If you know about the violin, then you know it's the E string. But suppose you didn't know what it was, if you're a beginner or something. Just try different strings, it'll give you. I'll just do the 4th finger. Okay, one final note about the Decibelion app is there is a setting in here. If we go to settings, there's a setting for how out of tune do you need to be in order for it to tell you that you're out of tune. And there's an easy setting that's the default right now, 25 cents, which is a quarter of a semitone. Or there's 12.5 cents that you can configure it to use. Then we go back, and it'll tell us that we're out of tune if we're just 1/8 of a semitone out of tune. And then you decide what you're going to play it with. If you're going to play this with the open string, then that's easy. Just play the open string. So you place your finger down, because it says, like Suzuki tells you, it's the 2nd finger. So you place your finger down, and what you want to look out for is, you see how this one doesn't have any sharps or flats next to it? The sharp is actually built into the key signature. So then when you place your finger down and you play, what you want to see on here is, you want to see no sharps or flats to the left of the note, but it'll say, if it's a sharp like in here, C sharp 5, it'll still say that it's a sharp, but it won't have the sharp symbol next to it. That's what you want, because if you have a C5 natural, for instance, it is not a sharp, but it has a natural. You need a natural to denote it. So, to answer the question, how do you play in tune? Well, you place your fingers on the different positions that you're going to play, and you try them out. So, I'm actually going to use the 4th finger here. And by the way, keep your fingers curved and everything. Have all the right positions. don't clench things too much, but again, that's more of a Julia Bushkova channel than this channel. Okay, so we have this. Okay, and then the second finger. If you see, the blue and only the top is filled in, that means you're sharp. And likewise, if it's red and only the bottom is filled in. So yeah, so correct your finger positions. Try not to tense yourself too much. If this is too difficult, maybe change it back to the easy setting of 25 cents, but... Okay, so basically you play it this way, and what you have, once you have enough practice playing it this way, the idea is not to be using this app all the time, because obviously on stage you will need to play this correctly without having to use an app. But the idea is just to have the correct training for your ear, for you to hear the notes. So then once we are not looking at the app, I'm turning away. So the idea is we want to get used to hearing the notes in tune, so that way when we don't have the app anymore and we are on stage or performing or even just practicing without the app, the idea is we should then have enough of an experience hearing the correct notes that we can fix ourselves without looking at the screen. But how are we going to teach ourselves if we keep playing it out of tune when we practice? So that's the whole idea of the Decibelion app, is that we can play in tune. And one final note is, in this app you will notice that there are these triangles. You can actually do... So that's, you see the 8VA, the octave. It will actually add or subtract octaves. Okay, so yeah, so the 8VA. When you look at the notes, it depends on what notes you have, because these don't have any octaves in them, so you want all the octaves turned off in the Decibelion app as well. But there is some sheet music that tells you, okay, play this an octave higher, and then you're like, huh? What note is this? And then you have to figure out what note name it is, and then go an octave higher above that. So that's just a little technology assistance there to kind of help practice. Again, you don't use this app on stage, but if it helps somebody practice, then that'll be great. Alright, so that is how you learn to play the violin in tune. I hope that was helpful, and enjoy your instruments, and have a wonderful day. Bye!